Hello students. So as before in last lecture we have considered anatomy of dipod root and monopod root in a comparative manner. So today we have to consider anatomy of your stem, and that too a dipod stem and monopod stem in a comparative manner. So here first of all we'll consider anatomy of dipod stem. So see, likewise there is a dipod stem. असं जर आपल्याकडे स्टेम असेल तर आपण त्या स्टेमचा एक ट्रान्सफर्स सेक्शन घेऊ आणि तो ट्रान्सफर्स सेक्शन आपण मायक्रोस्कोप मध्ये जेव्हा ऑब्झर्व करू तो दॅट टाइम इट विल शो लाईकवाईज इंटरनल स्ट्रक्चर. Considering anatomy of dipod stem as compared to the root, it is quite complex. So there are organization of several different type of tissue here we consider. So while considering anatomy of your dipod stem, so first of all we consider outline, that is similarly it has a single layer of parenchymatous cell which we call epidermis. So this is single layer of parenchymatous cell which we call epidermis. And see, on this epidermis there is a presence of multicellular trichomes. So trichomes are the shoot hairs. We have considered appendages of epidermal tissue. So trichomes are the multicellular. So trichomes are multicellular and they are meant to prevent the loss of water. Then there is the presence of cuticle. On the stem, there is the presence of thin cuticle. Stem is protected by the thin cuticle. And there are presence of fused stomata for having transpiration or gaseous exchange. So this epidermis is a single layer which has compactly placed cell, and on this epidermis there is the presence of multicellular trichomes. Then there is the presence of cuticle and few stomata are present on the epidermis. So epidermis will have trichomes, and see the difference between epidermal hairs of root and epidermal hairs of shoot is that root hairs are unicellular and shoot hairs are multicellular. So multicellular shoot hairs are considered as trichomes. Beneath this epidermis till endodermis, here this region is considered as cortex, and here this cortex has been differentiated into three different types. Rather, first it is hypodermis, then general cortex, and then epidermis. So this region beneath the epidermis till your pericycle is considered as cortex, but here we consider cortex into three different types on the basis of its characteristic of the cell which has present there. So here first, exactly below your epidermis there is the presence of hypodermis, and hypodermis is considered as of 3 to 5 layers. So here this region is considered as hypodermis. This is 3 to 5 layers. Here we will be having 3 to 5 layers of which type of cell? It is important, of cholenchyma cell, of cholenchyma cell. So we have considered characteristic of cholenchyma, that cholenchyma do not live behind intercellular spaces. There is additional deposition of cellulose and hemicellulose at the corners of the cell. So these are compactly placed. It means there is no intercellular spaces. So hypodermis is the region just below your epidermis which has a 3 to 5 layers, which has a 3 to 5 layers of cholenchymatous cell, and there is no intercellular spaces because cholenchyma has additional deposition of cellulose and hemicellulose at the corners. See, this is most important tissue because it is going to provide a mechanical strain to your stem. As जसं तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की स्टेम जे आहे तर स्टेमला एक्झॅक्ट असं जर बेंड केलं तर तो तुटत नाही, तर त्याच्याकडे एक स्ट्रेंथ असते. तो वागतो आणि पुन्हा शेप रिगेन करतो, तो वागतो आणि पुन्हा शेप रिगेन करतो, तो वागतो आणि पुन्हा. तर हा जो त्याच्याकडे आलेली स्ट्रेंथ आहे, दिस स्ट्रेंथ इज बिकॉज ऑफ दिस हायपोडर्मल टिश्यू, and as hypodermal tissue or hypodermis is made up of cholenchyma. So cholenchyma will not have, cholenchyma is mainly not rigid also, but it has intercellular spaces also occupied by the hemicellulose and cellulose. So because of that it has the ability to provide mechanical strain. So here your hypodermis is going to provide mechanical strain to the stem, and as stem has that mechanical strain, so stem will not immediately get bent. So we most of the time observe, so stem will bend, and as you will release it, it will regain its shape. So this is considered as a mechanical strain. So this mechanical strain is because of hypodermis. And here most important thing, hypodermis of dipod stem is of cholecystoma. Hypodermis of dipod stem is of cholecystoma. Remember this point. Hypodermis of dipod stem is of cholecystoma cell. Then below that there is the presence of general cortex. Below that there is the presence of general cortex. So this general cortex is of several layers of parenchymatous cell. Several here there is organization of several layers of parenchymatous cell which are loosely placed. These are large size parenchyma cell which are primarily meant for having storage of food. These parenchymatous cells are primarily meant for having storage of food. But here sometimes we observe younger stems are green in color. We observe younger stems are green in color. In that case, these cortical parenchyma cells are of chlorine-gymatous type. What exactly chlorine-gyma? आता chlorine-gyma काय? तर आपण parenchymaला वेगवेगळ्या टिश्यू मध्ये डिफरन्शिएट केलं. If parenchyma possess chloroplast, then we call it as a chlorine-gyma. If parenchyma possess air spaces, we call it as a arenchyma. मग या ठिकाणी ज्या parenchyma आहेत, कोणामध्ये जनरल कॉर्टेक्स या रिजन मध्ये. तर जनरल कॉर्टेक्स या रिजन मधल्या पॅरेंगायमांनी जेव्हा त्यांच्यामध्ये तुम्हाला पाहायला भेटतील रादर लाईकवाईज क्लोरोप्लास्ट. आणि ज्या वेळेला याच्याकडे क्लोरोप्लास्ट आले त्यावेळेला डेफिनेटली these parenchymatous cell will called chlorine-gyma, and this will observe in younger stem. As we are aware about younger stems are green in color and they are photosynthetic. So similarly, why they are photosynthetic? Because of in their general cortex parenchymatous cell has parenchymatous cell has chloroplast, and so we call them as the chlorine-gyma. So there are several layers of parenchymatous cell, and in a younger stage these layers are of chlorine-gyma. Means they will be parenchyma, but these parenchyma will have a chloroplast in their cell. So below that, see, most important thing here you will observe in this cortical region, here you will observe a resin duct. It is called duct, and this duct is for having conduction of resinous substance. What exactly resinous substance? You must be aware about. आपण कलर बनवत असताना जे लोक ड्रॉइंग वगैरे करतात किंवा पेंटिंग करतात, तर कलर बनवत असताना आपल्याला त्यांच्यामध्ये टर्पेंटाईन टाकावं लागतं. सो हे जे टर्पेंटाईन सारखे सबस्टन्स असतात त्यांना आपण रेझिनस सबस्टन्स म्हणतो. आणि असं जर रेझिन डक्ट असेल आणि त्या प्लांटमध्ये जर रेझिनस सबस्टन्सेस त्या डक्ट मध्ये जात असतील तर तो रेझिनस सबस्टन्स मुळे या प्लांटच्या स्टेमला कीड कधीच लागणार नाही. These resin ducts are meant to have a conduction of resinous substance or rather secretion of resinous substance, आणि या resinous substance मुळे आपल्याला आपल्या या स्टेमला कधीच कीड लागणार नाही. कीड न लागण्यासाठी त्यांच्याकडे रेझिनस सबस्टन्स ॲज लाईक टर्पेंटाईन वगैरे जे सबस्टन्स असतात, आपण वूडला कलर देताना तो वूड पॉलिश मध्ये टर्पेंटाईन असतं, तर ते टर्पेंटाईन त्याला कीड न लागली पाहिजे म्हणून असतं. मग या ठिकाणी तो तुमचा जनरल कॉर्टेक्स रिजन आहे. या जनरल कॉर्टेक्स रिजन मध्ये विल ऑब्झर्व here we'll observe resin duct. These ducts are meant to conduct a resinous substance. आपल्याला माहित असणारा resinous substance म्हणजे टर्पेंटाईन. सो असा हा resinous substance असणार तुमच्या जनरल कॉर्टेक्स. आता कॉर्टेक्सचा तिसरा पार्ट म्हणजे एंडोडर्मिस, इनर मोस्ट लेअर ऑफ कॉर्टेक्स, दॅट इज एंडोडर्मिस. या ठिकाणी इनर मोस्ट लेअर ऑफ कॉर्टेक्स जे आहे ते याच्यामध्ये कुठल्याही प्रकारचं तुम्हाला थिकनिंग वगैरे दिसणार नाही. जसं की ॲज वी हॅव कन्सिडर इन रूट देयर इज अ डिपॉझिशन ऑफ सबेरिन, पण या ठिकाणी सबेरिन डिपॉझिट न होता या ठिकाणी डिपॉझिट झाले स्टार्च. स्टार्च ग्रेन हॅज बीन डिपॉझिटेड हियर वी हॅव डिपॉझिटेड स्टार्च ग्रेन इन द एंडोडर्मिस. आता एंडोडर्मिस मध्ये स्टार्च ग्रेन असल्यामुळे या एंडोडर्मिसला मोस्ट ऑफ टाइम वी कॉल इट एज अ स्टार्च शीट. एंडोडर्मिस वी कन्सिडर इट एज अ स्टार्च शीट. आता स्टार्च ग्रेन किंवा स्टार्च शीट त्याच्यामध्ये डिपॉझिट करण्यामागचं कारण काय? तर कॉम्प्लेक्स फूड स्टोअर करण्यासाठी. सो दीज आर स्टार्च. स्टार्च इज कन्सिडर्ड टू बी ट्रायसॅकॅराइड, आणि हे कॉम्प्लेक्स फूड आपण या स्टार्च एंडोडर्मिस मध्ये इनर मोस्ट लेअर मध्ये स्टोअर करतो. सो वी कॉल इट एज अ स्टार्च शीट और स्टार्च ग्रेन. सो लाईकवाईज देयर इज एंडोडर्मिस. इपिडर्मिस आणि कॉर्टेक्स हे दोन रिजन तुमचे इथपर्यंत आले. हा झाला एपिडर्मिस. एपिडर्मिस वर देयर इज द प्रेझेन्स ऑफ trichomes, then cuticle is also there, some stomata will also be present there. Then your hypodermis. Hypodermis is of cholecystoma, and these cholecystoma cells are going to provide a mechanical stain. Then there is a general cortex. General cortex has a large size parenchymatous cell which are loosely placed, but in younger stage these large size parenchymatous cell will have chloroplast, and so we call them as the chlorine-gyma. Below that there is a presence of endodermis, and endodermis here is considered as starch sheet. Endodermis is considered as starch sheet because in this endodermis you will observe having a deposition of starch, so we call them as a starch sheet. Below that, see, After this, there is the entire part we consider it as a stele. एंडोडर्मीच्या आतमध्ये जो काही पार्ट असतो, कन्सिडरिंग पेरिसायकल, व्हॅस्क्युलर बंडल, पीथ अँड युअर व्हॅस्क्युलर कॅम्बियम, या सर्वांना आपण म्हणतो स्टेले. आता एंडोडर्मिस पर्यंत झाला तुमचा कॉर्टेक्स आणि इपिडर्मिस. आता स्टेले मध्ये आपल्याला बघायचं आहे पेरिसायकल. सो हिअर पेरिसायकल हॅज अ कॉलुमनार पॅचेस. अशा पेरिसायकलच्या कॉलुमनार पॅचेस तुम्हाला पाहायला भेटतील. कुठं? तर एक्झॅक्टली अबोव द फ्लोएम. या फ्लोएमच्या एक्झॅक्टली अबोव यू विल ऑब्झर्व अ पॅचेस, सेमील्युनार पॅचेस ऑफ sclerenchymatous cell. सेमील्युनार पॅचेस ऑफ sclerenchymatous cell. आणि या सेमील्युनार पॅचेस ऑफ sclerenchymatous cell ला we consider it as a pericycle. Semilunar patches of sclerenchymatous cell is considered. Here in dicot stem we'll observe a pericycle in a semilunar patches. Means there will be patch of, suppose we'll draw here, likewise stem is there. So this is your epidermis, then inside that epidermis there is a hypodermis and pericycle. Suppose here there is endodermis, and inside that endodermis there is a presence of pericycle. So here pericycle will form likewise patches. These patches are of pericycle, and exactly below that patch of your pericycle there is a presence of phloem. Likewise phloem will be present. अशा प्रकारे त्यांच्यामध्ये अरेंजमेंट राहणार फ्लोएमची. लाईकवाईज इज देअर. हे तुम्हाला फ्लोएमची पूर्ण लाईन दिसणार आणि याचा हा पूर्ण असे पॅच तयार करत जाणार, छोटे पॅच. सो लाईक दिस इज युअर पेरिसायकल. आता पेरिसायकल मध्ये काय, तर सेमील्युनार पॅचेस ऑफ sclerenchymatous cell. सेमील्युनार पॅचेस ऑफ sclerenchymatous cell. Now we have to consider most important part, that is vascular bundle. Here vascular bundle is of conjoint, collateral and open type. What exactly conjoint vascular bundle means? If xylem and phloem are present on the same radii, then we call that type of vascular bundle as a conjoint vascular bundle. And collateral vascular bundle is a phloem on outer side is present to the xylem on the same radii. Here we'll see it. Suppose this is center, here there is a pith, here there is a presence of your xylem, and above that xylem there is a presence of phloem. Means phloem is on outer side of xylem. Means this xylem or only lateral side of xylem is having phloem. So we call it as a collateral. And as xylem and phloem are present on the same radius, we call it as a conjoint. So vascular bundle of dicot stem is conjoint, collateral and open. Now why we call it as open? Because there is a presence of cambium. Between your xylem and phloem. As there is a presence of cambium between xylem and phloem, we call it as open vascular bundle. Open vascular bundle means it is open for having secondary growth. Means here a stem will increase its girth with the help of this cambium. So cambium is nothing but a secondary meristem, and here your cambium is going to play a major role in the secondary growth. Means increase in the thickness or girth or diameter of your stem is because of vascular cambium, and that vascular cambium is present in between your phloem and xylem. Here there is the presence of vascular cambium, that is secondary meristem. This cambium is present, or secondary meristem is present between xylem and phloem, so we call it as a vascular cambium. So this, as in between your xylem and phloem there is a presence of vascular cambium, so we call this type of vascular bundle as the open type of vascular bundle. So vascular bundle is conjoint, collateral and open type. Dicot stem has conjoint, collateral and open type of vascular bundle. Why it is called conjoint? Because xylem and phloem are present on the same radii. Why it is called collateral? Because on only lateral side is occupied by the phloem of xylem, so we call it as a collateral. And why we call it as open? Because in between xylem and phloem there is a presence of secondary meristem, we call it as a cambium, and here we call it as a vascular cambium. So this vascular cambium will present in between your xylem and phloem, so we call this vascular bundle as conjoint, collateral and open type of vascular bundle. Now these vascular bundles are arranged in the ring. This is the characteristic of stem, dipod stem. Vascular bundle will present in the ring. Here, your vascular bundle will form a ring around entire stem. Suppose this is stem, and here likewise ring will be form of. Consider this as a vascular bundle. So likewise ring will be form of vascular bundle. In that vascular bundle, a peripheral part will be phloem and inner part will be xylem. Peripheral will be phloem, inner will be xylem. Phloem, xylem. Likewise, and in between them there is a presence of. In between them there is a presence of vascular cambium. At the latter stage, this cambium will develop. Likewise. So likewise, there is a continuous ring of vascular bundle. So this becomes a characteristic of dipod stem, that in dipod stem vascular bundles are arranged in the ring. So most important thing, vascular bundles are arranged in the ring in dipod stem. Then vascular bundle is of endarch type. Xylem of this vascular bundle is of endarch type. We have considered. So here endarch means this is your protoxylem and this is your this is your metaxylem, and here it is protoxylem. So protoxylem lies towards center or protoxylem inner and metaxylem on the periphery. This type of xylem vessel is considered as endarch type of xylem. So here protoxylem on inner side and metaxylem on outer side. So this type of xylem we call it as an endarch type of xylem. So vascular bundle in dipod stem, conjoined, collateral, open type. Vascular bundles are arranged in ring, and here was a xylem of this vascular bundle is of endarch type. And in this vascular bundle there is a presence of cambium. There is a presence of cambium. Now see, as you are going to consider, there is a formation of ring of this vascular bundle. Likewise, suppose here one vascular bundle is there and here another vascular bundle is there. So here it is phloem and here it is xylem. Here it is phloem and here it is xylem. In between this phloem and xylem there is a formation of cambium. So this cambium we call it as a vascular cambium. And here the region between two vascular bundle is called medullary ray. We call it as a medullary rays. Here the region between two vascular bundle we call it as a medullary rays. So now here there is a patch of secondary brainstem. Here there is a patch of secondary brainstem is considered as a vascular cambium. We consider it in a detail later in the secondary growth. So this is your vascular bundle in dipod stem. Now after that there is a presence of central region which we call pith. Here pith is large size and has a large size parenchymatous cell. Pith is of large, means major central part will be occupied by the pith. Major central part will be occupied by the pith, and so we call pith is a large and made up of large size parenchymatous cell. This parenchymatous cell, as we are aware about having ability to store food, so they will also have a function of storage of food. So pith is of large size. Central pith is large size. And the next thing, rather here there is the presence of secondary growth, or rather stem needs a secondary growth or not. Yes, obviously stem needs to have a secondary growth because stem has to increase its girth. Stem has to increase its size, and to increase its size there is the presence of vascular cambium, and as there is the presence of vascular cambium, so your dipod stem will definitely show a secondary growth. So these are this is entire organization of a different type of tissue for formation of your dipod stem. So in dipod stem, the outermost will be epidermis, inner to that there will be cortex. Cortex is differentiated into three different types, that is hypodermis, general cortex and endodermis. Hypodermis, general cortex and endodermis. Then inner to that there is a pericyte. Then inner to that there is the presence of vascular bundle. Vascular bundle is conjoined, collateral and open type. And vascular bundles are arranged in the ring. Then the pith is large size and there is the presence of secondary growth. Overall, in dipod stem anatomy, you have to remember 3-4 different things. On part of MCQ, considering the MCQ, here you have to consider the cortex. In that cortex, you have to consider hypodermis. Hypodermis is made up of cholenchyma, and hypodermis is going to provide a mechanical strength. This is one most important. Second, Trichomes are multicellular. Epidermis of dipod stem has multicellular trichomes. Then they have your cuticle, and there is a presence of few stomata. As we are aware about certain in trace, there is a transpiration through your stem. So trichomes are multicellular and they are present on epidermis of dipod stem. Then hypodermis is colon gametous. Then your endodermis is considered as starch sheet. Here there is a deposition of starch. Then you can consider here pericycles are sclerine gametous and having semilunar patches. This is differentiated thing. And vascular bundle is conjoined collateral and open. But most important consider you have to consider that is vascular bundles are arranged in a ring. So vascular bundle is conjoined collateral open but present in the ring. And here teeth is large. Secondary growth will be definitely present as vascular bundle is open type. Now we have to consider this is about anatomy of dipod stem. And now we have to consider the difference between the anatomy of dipod stem and anatomy of monopod stem. So almost we are considering on the basis of differences. Is there? Now we have to consider anatomy of monopod stem. So here anatomy of monopod stem is comparatively very much simple with the dipod stem. As we have considered, dipod stem has several complex tissue or several different tissue organized in a different layer. So here it is almost simple because most of the parts which we have considered there in the dipod stem are absent here. Here very few are present and it has very simple type of anatomy. But you have to notice 2-3 different things here also. So outermost layer that present here it is epidermis. So it is surrounding the entire stem. So it is considered to be epidermis. And this epidermis is will not show presence of rather trichomes or there will be absence of cuticle also. So on epidermis of monopod stem there is the absence of trichomes and cuticle is also absent. Then below that epidermis there is the presence of a hypodermis. As like we have considered hypodermis is also present in dipod, but that hypodermis is colon gametous, and here this hypodermis is sclerine gametous. This hypodermis is sclerine gametous. लक्षात ठेवा ऊस आहे नंतर ज्वारी आहे हे जे स्टेम आहे ते या स्टेमला कट करण्यासाठी वी यूज और ज्यावेळेला आपण याला कट करतो त्यावेळेला तो आवाज करतो. इट मीन्स यांच्या स्टेम मध्ये जो स्क्लेरेन गायमा आहे तो त्याला मेकॅनिकल सपोर्ट येतो. मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम तुम्ही जर ज्वारीला वगैरे तोडून पाहिलं तर ती तुटते मधनं तुटते आणि बाकीच्या डायकॉडमध्ये ज्या वेळेला तुम्ही पाहिलं की त्यांच्याकडे काय असतं तर त्यांच्याकडे कोलेन गॅम असतो तो त्याला मेकॅनिकल स्ट्रेंथ देतो. तो मेकॅनिकल स्ट्रेंथ दिल्यामुळे तो बेंड होतो पुन्हा शेप रिगेन करतो. पण या ठिकाणी तसं पाहायला भेटणार नाही. ऊस तुम्ही असं बेंड केलं तर तो तुटणार. तर तो तुटतो का कारण याच्याकडे मेकॅनिकल स्ट्रेंथ असून मेकॅनिकल रिजिडिटी आहे. दिस स्क्लेरेन गॅम हॅज प्रोव्हाइडेड इट द rigidity because sclerine gamma is a dead tissue. Although it is fiber, but it is a dead tissue. It will not have presence of protoplasm also. So here hypodermis is made up of sclerine gamma. See, dicot hypodermis is colon gametous and in monocot hypodermis is sclerine gametous. Dicot ची hypodermis ही colon gametous आहे, monocot ची hypodermis ही sclerine gametous आहे. आता या hypodermis च्या आतमध्ये जो entire tissue राहणार entirely this tissue we consider it as a ground tissue. हायपोडर्मिस च्या आतमध्ये जो काही राहणार तो राहणार ग्राउंड टिश्यू. म्हणजे याच्या आतमध्ये आपण जसं पाहिलं की हायपोडर्मिस नंतर कॉर्टेक्स यायचा, कॉर्टेक्स नंतर एंडोडर्मिस मग पेरिसायकल असायची, देन व्हास्क्युलर बंडल आणि देन पीक. तर हे सर्व या ठिकाणी ॲब्सेंट आहे. म्हणजे या ठिकाणी हायपोडर्मिसच्या आतमधला सर्व पार्ट आपण रिमूव्ह केला आणि इथपासून इथपर्यंत जे टिश्यू भरलेलं राहणार त्या एंटायर टिश्यूला वी कन्सिडर ॲज अ ग्राउंड टिश्यू. आणि या ग्राउंड टिश्यू मध्ये आपले व्हास्क्युलर बंडल हे राहणार स्कॅटर्ड. These vascular bundles will remain scattered somewhere here there will place it because hypodermis च्या आतमधला सर्व रिजन मोकळा आहे, सर्व रिजन रिकामा आहे. आता त्या रिजन मध्ये तुम्ही व्हास्क्युलर बंडल कुठेही ठेवले तरी काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही. त्याच्यामुळे या ठिकाणी व्हास्क्युलर बंडल्स आर scattered and here we call vascular bundles are numerous comparative to the size of vascular bundle. Comparison with the dicot, size of vascular bundle is small. Here there is the presence of smaller vascular bundles, so we call them as a numerous. Means they will be in a large number, but their size is quite small, so we call them numerous vascular bundle. And here these vascular bundles are scattered all over the ground tissue. In entire ground tissue, these vascular bundles are scattered. Vascular bundle is of conjoint, collateral, and closed type. What do you mean by closed type? We have considered open type. If there is a presence of cambium in between xylem and phloem, then we call it as open. But here we have considered as a closed. Means there is the absence of cambium. Cambium will remain absent. As cambium will remain absent, so here there will be secondary growth will not be present. So here we have considered secondary growth is absent, and secondary growth is absent. So stem will not increase its girth. Stem will not increase its girth. So here girth of stem will not be increased. So that's why these plants are having a weak stem. As they have weak stem, we have considered they need to have mechanical support. For that, there is a presence of steel root. Likewise, there is a presence of steel root. So why there is a presence of steel root? Because they don't have thickness. As they don't have thickness, so on having mechanical strain, they could get broken. So for that we have, or fall down. So for that we have provided them with a support, mechanical support. So here vascular bundles are closed. Vascular bundles are conjoint, collateral, and closed. Here xylem is of endarched type. Xylem is of endarched type. Endarched type means protoxylem again presence on the inner side and metaxylem on the outer side. Sclerenchymatous. Here your each vascular bundle has a guarding of sclerenchymatous cell. Likewise, sclerenchymatous cell is present, and this guard we call it as a bundle sheath. Vascular bundle has a sheath. Vascular bundle like sheath है, पण ती sheath कशाची आहे? तर sclerenchymatous cell आहे. So each vascular bundle is having sclerenchymatous bundle sheath. Sclerenchymatous bundle sheath. So likewise, each vascular bundle is having a sclerenchymatous bundle sheath. So this we consider while considering bundle sheath surrounded leaf also has a likewise bundle sheath. So here sclerenchymatous bundle sheath is there to surround each vascular bundle which has been scattered everywhere in the ground tissue. So this is a vascular bundle. Vascular bundles are numerous and scattered. See, dicot has a vascular bundle in ring, and here in monocot has vascular bundle scattered. Vascular bundles in dicot and monocot conjoint collateral, but in dicot it is open, in monocot it is closed. Xylem, they are also endarched, here is also endarched. Then there is a differentiation, one more additional thing to the vascular bundle in monocot, that sclerenchymatous bundle sheath is there. Sclerenchymatous bundle sheath is surrounding each vascular bundle. Then entire tissue present inside the hypodermis is considered as ground tissue, and here there is absence of pith and there is absence of secondary growth. There is absence of pith and secondary growth. Is there? So this is all about anatomy of dicot and monocot stem. So you have to remember the differences between dicot and monocot stem. Remember the differences between dicot and monocot stem. So major difference which we have to consider, that sclerenchymatous hypodermis here in monocot and cholenchymatous hypodermis in dicot. Dicot vascular bundles are arranged in the ring, monocot vascular bundles are scattered. Dicot vascular bundles are open, monocot vascular bundles are closed. Monocot vascular bundles are closed. Monocot has the additional thing that they have sclerenchymatous bundle sheath. Sclerenchymatous bundle sheath. Dicot epidermis has presence of trichomes, presence of cuticle, and presence of stomata. But here in monocot epidermis, there is absence of trichome, there is absence of your cuticle also. Hypodermis is the major consideration. Hypodermis of dicot stem is cholenchymatous. Hypodermis of monocot stem is sclerenchymatous. So this is all about the anatomy of dicot and monocot stem.